ChatGPT won't necessarily sell your data to anybody. At least they claim they won't. But if the government submits a lawful request, they will comply with it. So if the government subpoenas ChatGPT or Claude or any of these other AI models for your records, they will comply. It's in their privacy statement. If you don't believe me, go on ChatGPT right now and ask. Ask ChatGPT, if the government subpoenas the records of a person under investigation, will you comply? The answer is going to be yes. So let's put that to a real world example that is prominent today. ICE is a huge hot button issue right now. Regardless of whether you think ICE is doing the right thing or not, they could very easily be using your AI chat records and data to locate you. Just think about it. If you have a family and you're going to your daughter's softball game and you ask ChatGPT what's there to do in whatever random town the event's at, they have access to that. If you ask what restaurants are around, they have access to that. Your medical records, anything you ask, they have access to. IP addresses, they know where you're at. They know where, if you're in a coffee shop somewhere on the Wi-Fi asking ChatGPT random questions, they know you're there. I mean, if that alone isn't a reason to get you to self-host some of this stuff, I don't know what is. And it's not specific to just that situation. Like I said, if you agree with ICE and you think that they should be doing what they're doing, that's fine. But this always comes full circle. 4 years from now, 8 years from now, depending on who wins the presidency, it could potentially flip. You know, I remember there was talk during COVID of lists. They wanted to put people on lists who were vaccine deniers and things like that. That could very well happen in this case. They could want to put you on a list because you were in support of ICE. Well, guess what? Now you're the target of these ChatGPT investigations. So privacy should be your number one concern with all of this stuff. You're telling ChatGPT or Claude or whoever you use, you're telling them everything. You're giving them all your information freely. So that's probably the most important one. Second is cost. If you're a creator and you're trying to do image and video generation, voiceovers, the cost just stacks up. I mean, you're talking, Leonardo's $60 a month, OpenArt $60 a month, Kling I think is like $100 a month, ChatGPT's $20, 11 Labs is $20. You're talking $300 a month. That's a lot of money. $3,600 a year, and all you're getting out of it is the ability to use these programs. Whereas if you self-host, it's all free. And some of them are better than what's available in the paid versions. They're more uncensored. I make horror videos, and it's hard sometimes because they don't want to put blood and gore and things like that on, coming out of their platform. But on the self-hosted models, you can do whatever you want. It's a little too much sometimes. But for the cost of a year's membership to all these platforms, you could build yourself a pretty nice computer that could handle most of the tasks you're trying to do. And then you're not reliant on having enough credits. And that's another thing is it's $60 a month. That's not for just unlimited use. That gets you a certain amount of credits. And then if you run out of credits, you got to buy more credits. So that $3,600 a year can really stack up there if you're trying to pump out a lot of content. when it can just be done for free. So that's number 2. Number 3 is the environmental impact that this is causing. These companies are popping up data centers like crazy. I mean, these places, the energy consumption of these places is massive. I mean, it's a staggering amount of energy used. And frankly, I don't think our infrastructure can sustain it. I don't think we can keep going in the direction we're going. That's a discussion for a different day. And frankly, I'm not very well versed in the energy industry. I just know that, I mean, you look at places like California. I mean, just last year in the summertime, I think they were telling people not to charge their cars at certain times, not to run the air conditioner at certain times. How do you think California is going to handle 100, 500 data centers? I mean, it's just not, it can't be sustained. You know, and then just the impact of turning all of our rural land and potential farmland into just data centers or solar farms is just, it's not good. It's not good for the country. And I don't want to see that happen. So by self-hosting, you're not relying on that data center. You know, everything you're doing is run specifically off your computer. It never leaves your house. It doesn't go off to a data center where, 50,000 supercomputers are in there just running at maximum capacity 24/7. It's just your house, your computer. It shuts off when you're done. It's just it's a more sustainable route, and it's just better for everyone. So those are probably my top 3 reasons. There's more, but those are the most important. Privacy just being of overall importance. You don't want to be giving your data out to anybody. They don't need to know what you're doing, where you're going. And if they don't sell it, they're susceptible to hacks. I mean, they could be hacked or data can be stolen. You don't need that. So anyway, if you got anything out of this, give me a like and a subscribe. If you disagree with anything I had to say, or if I was wrong about anything, or you think I'm wrong, leave me a comment. Tell me why. I'd like to hear from you. Other than that, have yourself a good day.